Realize I don't need all this stuff over here. Can't do that now. Okay, can I see who's online? Linda. Hi, Linda. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
That was a delay.
Pull up the participant list for me and. Hi, Kylene. Can you hear me okay?
Hello, yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not nice.
Someone's got to mute. I don't know if it's.
I'm not on. I don't think anybody in the room is on the board meeting. Is she? She said you was, so I made you just step in. I know I. Okay. Okay, hold on real quick. 1, 2.
We believe you.
I don't. Here's what she says. Yeah, I think we have enough people for a quorum. But I'm gonna do a quick attendance before we officially kick off the meeting, because I want to confirm everybody that's online, because I can't fully see everybody who, okay, so I'm just gonna go.
It's gotta be someone online if they can mute their computers.
Everybody who is online, mute your computers real quick. Okay.
This is I think that's a little bit of feedback.
A little weird. Okay. Okay, hi Jerry.
There he is.
Chris,
I know he went to.
he wouldn't do you like that? Yeah.
Everybody's muted.
Let's see if that fixed. It might take a second to catch up.
Okay, we have everybody.
That works.
We are ready, sir.
Here we have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and get started. Want to go around and do introductions? You already do that.
We have not done that.
Larry, you want to start?
Yes, Larry Hessen, and recruited by the Hendricks County Commissioners.
Are we, I'm down on volume, but they can still receive our, all of the can't hear them.
Oh, this came in. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Can we maybe, real quick,
I did.
okay, you turned it down.
We could ask them to do a little raise their hand if they want to say something, and then we turn the volume back on.
Dude, where do you have a quorum? Don Adams. Orange County.
Friday afternoon.
Mike is having too much fun. We're having some feedback issues here on our end with the sound. So in case you guys didn't hear that, for those of you who are virtual, that's what Don is referring to.
That may not be my only problem. Mike Goralski, appointed by Boone County Commissioners.
Amanda Meyer, Assistant Director and Mobility Manager, CIRTA.
Chris Petrulis, Program Manager, CIRTA.
Destiny Wells, Marion County.
Andrew Kleiman, City of Indianapolis.
Brooke Thomas, appointed by the mayor, but work it in.
Terry Bridges, Madison County.
Jennifer Gephardt, Director for CERTA.
And Poindexter, your legal counsel.
Kathleen,
Yeah.
Eileen Swackhammer, Delaware County.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Did you
know
guys
it's-
hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, Eileen Swackhammer, Delaware County.
Linda Sanders, Shelby County.
Joe Daly, Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 1070.
Do I have anybody else online? Okay.
Hello.
Next item up with the consent agenda. We do this, as a rule, we approve it all this every meeting. That's resolution 2026-08-21-01. Are there any comments on anything that you got that was provided to us in the packet for the consent agenda? If not, motion for approval in a second.
So moved.
Larry? We have
Second,
Brooke, second. Any discussion? If not, roll call please, Jen.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny. Hi. Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
I.
You're muted.
I.
thank
Can
you. Yes. Don,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke. Hi.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next item up is new business. First item is resolution 2026-08-21-02, resolution to approve contract with CIRTA copier. Jen?
Yeah, so this is, our copier lease with CERTA, is up for renewal for December 1. We were able to reach out to a couple different organizations to get quotes for services. Our current copier actually came back. We were paying $435 a month, for costs with, so many black and white copies and so many color copies per month. And then if you exceed those, you would get overage charges. They have now actually agreed for a 2-year term to, give us a flat rate of $380 per month with unlimited copies of color and black and white, causing us no overage fees. So this is a 2-year contract you are approving, with, is Cardinal Office Products. It is gonna be a flat $380 a month. Are there any questions?
No discussion? If not, take a motion for approval.
I'll move that. So moved.
Don made the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
That's Destiny. Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, Jen.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny, Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
I.
Don,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Kylie,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooks. Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Next item is 3B, resolution 2026-08-21-03, resolution to approve contract for government relations services. Jen?
Yeah, so as you guys may be aware, we went out for a RFQ for government relations services. We had 4 different groups propose different proposals. Those 4 groups were Ice Miller at $3,500 a month, Legis Group at $3,750 a month, plus $125 a month, not to exceed costs for mileage and travel. Cordon Group at $6,000 a month, and RJL Solutions for $8,000 a month. The contract is to give approval for Legis Group, and I'm not sure if Jerry, if the executive committee wants to say anything else regarding that decision to the board.
Yeah, Destiny, you wanna?
Well, we went with Legis Group ultimately because of their experience, not only at the State House, but coupled with the municipal level. And we feel that the constraints that everyone is under with the new legislative landscape, that this was an ideal fit for us. And also the years of experience, combined experience, whereas with ICE and the transition over there, we were very happy with Abby, but we just felt ultimately that we were getting a wealth of experience with Legis Group.
Larry, anything that I had?
No, I don't think so. That was. Nothing to add.
Okay. We have no further discussion, then, thank you both, and, general call vote.
Here's my paper.
I moved to approve.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
you need
sorry.
to.
I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Need a
Josh,
motion to-
sorry, thank you.
Move to approve. Second.
Andrew, Larry seconded.
Okay.
Any further discussion? If not, general call, please.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke. Hi.
And I thought, sit down, why did it go? Next item is 3C, Resolution 2026-08-21-04, recertification of Title VI plan. Jen.
Yes. Thanks to Amanda's notes. We are required to have to update our Title VI and ADA plan, basically, yearly. We went ahead and made the following changes to update our Title VI plan. We updated the notice to the public to include accessible formats. We added language that complaints must also be filed directly with Federal Transit Administration. We added an LEP section to reference the most recent available ACS and other demographic information, and updated the service equity analysis language to align with current FTA guidance, and changed contractor monitoring from quarterly audits to periodic reviews. So that is the changes basically in the Title VI, nothing major. And this is a formality. Any questions?
For questions of Jen? Do you need a motion for approval, Larry, or anyone else?
Or anyone else?
Motion to approve.
Brooke,
I second. Destiny.
said Destiny second.
Okay.
Okay, have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, general call, please.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Kylie,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke. Bye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next up was 3D, Resolution 2026-08-21-05, recertification of ADA plan. Jen?
Yes, it's a similar situation, just updating this yearly. The things that we updated, was we added section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act to purpose and scope. We added a reasonable modification policy consistent with 49 CFR. Updated complaint language to acknowledge complaints with intended business days and investigate as promptly and as practicable. Added language regarding effective communication and made the annual review language more flexible by removing the requirement for board approval specifically in December. So any questions for me on that? No, nothing major, just trying to align what we had versus anything that's new that comes out with FTA and things to that extent.
No questions? Do you need a motion for approval?
Move approval. Second.
Andy? Don? Any further discussion? If not, Jen, roll call.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Dawn,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Colleen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke. Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next item is 3E, resolution 2026-08-21-06, resolution to approve salary schedule. Jen?
So it's August and I have been working hard with Amy and starting our budget conversations. And I realized that throughout history, for some reason, since I've been working on these board packets and been a program manager and a director, that startup for some reason always approved their salary schedule in February. And it didn't really make sense to me because we work on the budget starting in August. So there's no changes in the salary schedule from what you guys have seen before. I'm just presenting it to you a little bit earlier than we have in the past because I felt like it made more sense to align it with when we're starting to work with the budget. So no changes from last year in the schedule in itself, and this is a formality. Any questions?
There are no questions to Jen. A motion for approval. A second, please.
I have a question.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Just real quick. So, does that mean since we're proposing and possibly resolving this in August, that the next time will be next year's August, or will we redo this in February?
Yes, it will be next August.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it makes sense starting it to do it like August every year. This is only for a 1 year. You're approving a 1 year salary schedule for 2027. So
Okay.
next year, you'll either approve another salary schedule for either a year or two, is typically how I've done it.
All
If
right,
that
thank
works.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for your question, Joe. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Larry?
Second.
Mike? Any further discussion? If not, Jen, roll call.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Colleen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke. Aye.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Next item is 3F, resolution 2026-08-21-07. Resolution to approve updates to service policies and procedures. Jen?
Yeah, so it's been since last October since we made any updates to the policies and procedures. Most of you, like every year, we take a look at this, sometimes more than once a year, depending if we're audited or, learn of something new. So this year, this is a resolution to update it. I'm gonna go over some of the updates that we made. We changed our emergency ride home policy, program, just certain minor tweaks to how it works. So we had to update that, for example. We wanted to expand a little bit because it talked about how we promote agencies such as Indigo in our policies and procedures when we do community outreach. And I felt like it was important to expand on that because we actually do a lot more than that. We promote all agencies, when we are out doing community, any agency we're aware of. There was a discussion with FTA about whether we are classified as a commuter bus or a motor bus. This has been an ongoing topic of conversation since I've worked here. The recent agreement through NTD is that we are a motor bus versus a commuter bus. Our policies and procedures had it listed that we are commuter bus. So it was basically updating it to motor bus and applicable language. We made sure we updated some language in there that it was always under our impression that CIRTA didn't have many capital or no capital assets. But because at one time in history, we applied some federal dollars to the Plainfield bus shelters, technically those are considered capital assets. And that was an audit finding, so a long time ago, so long story short, we now have that listed in our policies and procedures. We needed to update the fact that PMTF no longer has a local match requirements. We updated our emergency preparedness policy because we moved offices from one floor to another and just like a little bit slightly. I mean, this is all just slight things, nothing major, but that's just kind of a high level of what we've updated in the policies and procedures that we've updated for you. If anybody likes the full copy and wants to read through all the pages, I'll be happy to send it to you. Just let me know. I didn't want to include all, 50 plus pages in the packet to save trees.
Does anyone have questions of Jen?
We
If
have
not,
unlimited printing now, though.
Not yet,
Oh.
not to December 1st,
Next time.
next time.
if not, we need a motion for approval. A second, please.
So moved.
Larry, motion with a second.
Second.
Andrew, second. Any discussion or questions? If not, Jen, roll call, please.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny,
Hi.
Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, this 3G, resolution 2026-08-21-08. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a resolution since we had to reschedule this meeting from earlier in the month to today. This is a resolution that is ratifying the fact that the executive committee went ahead and authorized us to pay all the bills you see in your packet on the 18th.
And it also approves the reschedulings that you previously published for meeting dates.
Thank you. Any questions?
There are no other questions. We need a motion and a second for approval.
So moved.
Mike, motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Brooke. Any discussion? If not, Jen, roll call, please.
Jerry,
Aye.
Destiny,
Hi.
Larry,
Aye.
Linda,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye.
Andrew,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brooke.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item up, the sort of updates. Amanda?
Yes, lots going on in the mobility management world. As far as our calls to the office, in July, we received almost 170. And that has been increasing because in June we had 100, almost 120. But I do attribute many of those to One Call Connect. We have a lot of interest in that and been scheduling more and more trips, which I'll update you on in just a moment. As far as referring to partners, CIRTA referred to partnering organizations 19 times in July and 16 in June. And then as far as our connector routes go, ridership is looking good. Whitestown hit over 600. It dipped down just a little bit in June to just under 500. But we are seeing, in these hot months, sometimes that does dip down some, but Plainfield, it just keeps rising. It was at 2,648 in July in Plainfield and almost 2,400 in June. So we do have both of our connector EIDs interested in assessing their route. So I think I mentioned to you before that we've been looking at if we could add the Made at Plainfield building to the route. And so I tested the route quite a bit. We had Go Express go out there as well. And with Phil's help also, we've been assessing how we could do that. And it does seem like it's possible. However, when we first assessed that, when they made that request, it was before school was in session and you have to go through where Plainfield High School is. And so the light itself is 2.5 minutes just to wait and get through it. And then if you add that school traffic, that is something that school has now been in session a couple weeks now. And so I've got it on my calendar next week to go try that again and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't impact it too much, but we'll see. So they're just Plainfield, both Plainfield and Whitestown as well. Whitestown, it's been really great to hear them say that in their budget, they're looking at how they can incorporate some more dollars to put that towards being able to, the walkability to those stops, to be able to have some shelters, additional lighting, anything that they can do to improve the route, and also wanting to assess even further the stop usage too. So working with them on that, working with Plainfield. So both of the routes are keeping me busy doing that research for them and just trying to do whatever we can to keep them happy. We do have an outreach rep that specifically, Sam, she focuses on Whitestown and Plainfield, and she's got some great ideas to continue to keep our riders engaged, keep them happy as well. So more to come on that later. I won't get too far into that because we've been more talking about ideas, but it's just cool to see. She was just texting me earlier, telling me about how she had a great meeting with an employer in Whitestown, and she has a lot of excitement for how to increase those engaged employers in both of those towns that we have the workforce connectors. So that's awesome. As far as My Freedom goes, we continue to average over 200 trips a month. And since it started at the end of 2023, My Freedom's had over 6,000 trips. So we receive about 30 apps monthly for that. And that again is going well. The One Call Connect pilot also going great. We have hit just over 30 trips since it started at the beginning of April. And so we've had some great testimonies, people that have been happy. If you're following our social, if you're following our newsletter, you'll see those stories of people that have ridden and had a great experience with that and are enjoying the opportunity to use One Call Connect and do their cross-county trips. I will say that just recently we started to have to deny some additional trips. And so doing some research with our friends at Hamilton County, basically they're short-staffed right now with drivers. And this is pretty new because they have 2 that are on medical leave that are full-time drivers that they can't backfill right now. And then they were already trying to hire 2 additional part-time drivers. So there's some of these trips that they're having trouble accommodating. One rider, for example, their trip takes about 40 minutes for their drivers to do. And they had told me, that particular situation with that cross-county trip, we can't accommodate that all the time with the amount of drivers, and totally makes sense. It just, we're having to do what we can. We are trying to incorporate where we can My Freedom, talking to our friends over at Prime Life Enrichment as well in Hamilton County. And so just utilizing all the organizations to see. And recently I said to Jen, I said, hey, I think it would be really great if we had something on our website where if someone's interested in driving for one of our partners, or maybe for our workforce connector, maybe it's Indigo, then we could just have a smart form where they can fill it out, and me having access to everybody's contact with County Connect, I can say, hey, we know that someone's looking for a role, and that will hopefully help with some of these open driver roles that some of the counties are experiencing. So hopeful that they'll get those positions filled, or those will come back from medical leave and we won't have to deny quite as many as we've seen recently. But on the positive side, a couple of things that Jen and I have had going on is that we were able to connect with the Community Foundation of Hancock County as well as Hamilton County. Hancock County, if you've been to their new building that they had, they have the Thrive Center there. I'm sure some of you have visited it. I know Suzanne, I just learned, is on the board for them as well. I didn't know until I was visiting them. And we are going to host a lunch and learn. So anyone that's interested in learning more about transportation, we called it New Transportation for Hancock County Lunch and Learn, so that they know we've got this My Freedom program, we've got one called Connect. And then of course, all the other resources, and we're allowing Susan to come in and present as well. But we've already got interest in this. It's progressed really quickly, and the lady that works over there at the Thrive Center, she was like, Amanda, do you have that Eventbrite link? And I'm like, oh my gosh, people are already wanting to register for it. So hopefully that's a good sign that we are going to have a good and continue to spread the word. And I'm just very happy. Those trips are time consuming to book, but our team is doing really great with that and being able to support all the callers that have the interest in that. So that's good. I'm happy with how it's going. Any questions?
I have a question, just
Sure.
out of curiosity, were mobility operations impacted by the inclement weather recently? And just a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as far as our workforce connectors, no impact. When it comes to talking about our region, we just had the County Connect call the other day, and that was something that I brought up. I was asking, was anyone impacted? Very minimal operations impact, so that's good. I do know there was a little bit, especially in Hamilton County, but otherwise, no, I was glad to hear it wasn't anything major. And we, of course, said, if there's anything we can do to support you further, let us know. But I had the same concern. Especially Hamilton County, I knew we had that call coming up, and so I did address that, and that's good that they haven't. I know, I believe it was Johnson County, she mentioned over there that they had a little bit of impact too, but just minimal, certain roads that they couldn't utilize and such.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
When you said you were gonna go to Plainfield High School,
Mm-hmm.
when was that gonna happen?
So this coming week is when I'm gonna run that. I wanted to allow, it's always in the beginning of the school season that everything's a little bit busier. Parents are taking their kids when they normally don't, and everybody's getting in their routine. And so I wanted to wait until school is in, at least for a couple weeks, and go test that. So this coming week is when I'll be driving the route again and seeing if we get close to the same times.
What time of day?
So the high school starts right around 8 a.m. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but I'll be running the route right around the time that school starts, and then when it's ending, so that we can see how that will impact the trip and if we can still stay in the time frame that we need to.
So school is out at 3:05 at the high school,
Yes.
and if traffic backs up
Mm-hmm.
for a long distance.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern, would be whether or not we can accommodate that school time. Jen and I were trying to think creatively. Is it possible, at least for the maid building, that we do have service there, but only certain times a day? Maybe we do it during times that are before and after those peak traffic times with the school traffic.
Yeah, and to add to that, we were requested to take a look at this, if that makes sense, but the request right now is just coming from the main building itself, not necessarily the landowner yet. So they're still working with the landowner, because as you know, the landowner has to petition to get into the EID, and to make this all happen. So just a little background there.
Well, as you know, there is a light at the main center,
Yes.
so, and that parking lot, it's never full. I mean, it's well used, but, I think you can avoid the high school and still be able to access May without too much problem.
Yeah, I think what we might run into is all the traffic when it's going to school, and the cars that line up to drop off the kids and go to the student parking lot. And then that light, of course, right there, it's being 2.5 minutes long, is pretty long right there. There were a couple of times when I drove it.
You're talking about the light at Maid or
The one when you're entering where the high school is,
Okay, right,
yes, coming off Quaker Boulevard.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but it's all still, it's exciting that it's possible, you know, they're seeing what we can do, and that's why I think it might make sense to say, hey, we go a couple times in the morning, couple times in the afternoon, and accommodate it, but it may be that it doesn't work in the schedule with the current schedule to go during those peak
Right,
times.
right. Okay.
Any other questions of Amanda? Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your hard work, team's hard work.
Thank you.
Next time up, Jen.
Yeah. All right, so, I don't know, the summer is almost over, it feels like. And it's, I guess, a good segue to some of the good work that our team has been doing. So since our June 9th board meeting through August 18th, we registered 552 new commuters. We added 2 new van pools, bringing us up to 17 active vans, so that's exciting. We hope to be launching our first potential flexible van pool program. This is gonna be huge if it works. So Chris is smiling. So Enterprise has rolled out, who is our vendor, a hybrid flexible van pool program, which would allow individuals who are on hybrid work schedules to be able to basically buy a seat versus where the van would still maintain occupancy, still hit all the NTP targets. And we are very close to launching the very first one from Bloomington to Indianapolis. If it launches, it will be the first, not only for us, but in the Midwest, which would be super exciting. So we aren't really promoting this yet because we want to see that the first one works and it launches and how it works. Because when we signed the new contract with Commute by Enterprise, they were just rolling out this new program. And one of the things I asked them was like, hey, like, do you have some people that I can talk to who's using the program already and stuff like that? And they gave me some contacts and I reached out to them, and one of them, believe it or not, was in Alaska. And Alaska has 100 van pools on the road. A lot of them are military, which makes sense. But out of those 100 van pools, they don't have one flex yet. So, which is okay, it just means their workforce might not be on that type of schedule, but nevertheless, I haven't really gotten to talk to anybody. We just got back, Chris and I just got back from the International Association of Commuter Transportation Conference, where different carpool, van pool programs and mobility programs across the country meet. And yeah, it was interesting not to really be able to see anybody else like offering flex, and they even agree to us, Enterprise even agrees, this is still new. So we're hopeful, because if this can work and we can find a good way to promote it and be able to continue to offer it, it can be a big game changer for mobility here in the region. So more to come on that, but
So did that come from within Enterprise?
It did.
So nobody's demanding it, so it came from within.
it came from
What's motivating them?
I think COVID, well, I think COVID and hybrid work.
Okay.
Because, after the pandemic, so many people lost a lot of van pools due to hybrid work. So this was a solution that came out of that, was how can we still serve those people and give those a kind of solution that came out of it. So it wouldn't necessarily, we would still have traditional van pooling as we know it today, as we have it today, but then we would also have this alternative model. On Tuesday, Amanda and I will be attending the Retired Indiana Public Employee Association Convention. This was something that we learned about through our contacts at the state, and met somebody there. And the intent behind that is primarily to educate. They wanted us to come and educate their individuals attending their events, especially My Freedom in the Pilot. So the intention of going to that event is educating about My Freedom in the Pilot program and transportation resources for anybody who's retired. So that's something we have coming up on Tuesday. When Chris and I were at the conference in Philly, not that long ago, we were able to take away some really good information to do some things to update our database with our current database provider and some marketing events. So we're kind of working through some of those things that we might be able to share with you guys soon. Community event season is still in swing. So we did have the Glass Festival obviously was canceled due to the horrific events in Madison County, but looks like, have you heard anything about the Gaslight? Right now, it's not, I haven't heard that it's canceled. You don't know? Okay. So some of the potential upcoming events that we are going to be at are the Gaslight Festival in Madison County, in New Pal, Oktoberfest, Madison County Medical Mission, some IMPD community days, Boone County Resource Fair, Frankton Heritage Days, and Quaker Days in Plainfield are just a few. We were reached out to very last minute from Central Indiana Cycling, and they are trying to coordinate a last minute effort to do a week without driving event. So this is something they did last night. It was a combination of support from CIRTA, the IMPO, themselves. They lost their funding this year to be able to do this type of event. So they weren't sure it was going to be able to take place, but with the help of CIRTA and the IMPO, the event is going to go on. Chris is going to be, is already involved with those conversations and those meetings. And it's basically just an event to help raise awareness to people, challenges that people face that who do not have the ability to drive or can't drive or don't want to drive. So that's something we'll be participating in. Take, you all know who I am. My next update is, it's gonna sound like a bad update in the beginning, but it's not that bad. So every year it seems to be a constant, I'm gonna try to be politically correct about this before I say anything. Every year we work with the FTA, and every year we work with them early on. And every year we have conversations in depth, well documented, about what approach they want us to take when it comes to grant season. This year, we started those conversations in December. We had 2 grants that were coming online. We were told we were going to do 2 new grants. 1 new grant for mobility management, 1 new grant for My Freedom. We had another follow-up conversation. Nothing changed with that. We had several more emails and follow-up conversations. The grant was completed, ready to go. When I say ready to go, draft revision for FTA to review in May. Sending emails. We got it. We just haven't got to you yet. We're short-staffed, et cetera, et cetera. No problem. Totally get it. Understand this current climate and situation. End of July comes, or beginning of August, really. And our regional rep reaches out to us and he's like, can you remind me why we are doing a grant versus an amendment for the My Freedom program? And I reminded him. And at that point in time, he's like, they are not allowing people to have, quote, more than 15307 grant. So, and something that, and I just talked in our 5307 conversation with Indigo yesterday. These are experiences they are having as well with FTA. Well, long story short, our mobility management grant is pushed through. It's actually ready to execute after this meeting. We are good with that grant. My Freedom grant is now gonna have to wait until trams reopens up. And that's going to occur after trams will close down around September 24th-ish. I only remember the date because it's my birthday and I'm like, okay, it's the only reason I remember. But no, they're gonna close down then, it's gonna reopen up, and then we're gonna have to go work, and the grant we're executing now, they're gonna want us to amend that to add that new money onto that. What that means is thankfully, in our conservative efforts, we've been able to stretch the current grant out to give us enough money to last at least through December. So hopefully by the time trams opens back up, we'll have enough money, the way that invoices fall and the way we've been able to stretch the grant, that will be fine without having to dip into the general fund. If we have to dip into the general fund, we have the funds and we have pre-award authority on the grant to be able to reimburse ourselves if that occurs. But I wanted to just update you on that. It's one of my greatest frustrations because it's just like, it causes me anxiety every year, and every year we try to be proactive, and every year, you know, Philip and Amanda can vouch for this. It's like, it's a constant changing guidance, and it always seems to be last minute. So we'll put a lot of time and effort into grant work, amendment work, grant work, amendment work, and then it changes. So here we are, and that's where we're at. And we just roll with it. So that's the update on that. Are there any questions? I'm not, thankfully, due to our conservative efforts, I'm really not too concerned about it. I think we're, you know, Amy's back there. She's like, yeah, she's not concerned about it. She's our, you know, I think we're good to go. But I did want to update you because in case it takes them longer for whatever reason, you know, you might see that, and I'm just trying to be transparent.
Did they change your rep?
The rep has been our rep for about a year,
Okay.
so he is newer.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy, but it just sounds like he's being told different things all the time. So, yeah.
It's kind of consistent with what's going on.
Yeah, so, otherwise, Amy and I have began budget work. So you guys, we will have a draft budget to show the executive committee in September, and you'll see, our 2027 budget, draft budget for you, your first view in, October. And then, I'm meeting with our insurance, vendor Monday, and otherwise, that's all I have for you guys right now. I will tell you, oh, one more thing. I will tell you that, we will be meeting with, the new, legislative, representative. And she was willing to meet with us before her contract started September 1. Because since session is beginning, so we will be having a kickoff meeting to start those conversations with her prior to September 1, so she has some information, and we've been communicating back and forth.
If I understood what you were saying, instead of applying for a new grant, we could have submitted an amendment to the existing grant.
Yes.
Is it worth considering withdrawing the request for a new grant and requesting an amendment? Would that expedite matters at all?
There's no way to expedite any matters, pretty much, because, like, just to put it blunt, the one grant that we, currently just submitted for mobility management, it was too far down the process to be able to already amend it.
Okay.
So it was already going through all the labor reviews and stuff like that, so it was too far down the way for them to like reject it and to.
Don't try and be logical.
I mean, that would have, well, at first he even mentioned that, he even mentioned that, and I'm like, well, is that possible?
Right.
Because I just got the labor reviews, and he's like, oh, no, it's not, you're right. So anyhow.
So I trust you made a note that next year, try the amendment approach?
It changes.
It changes every year. We ask the question.
New rule.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the problem we run into. Every year we ask for the guidance, grant or amendment, grant or amendment, grant or amendment, and they guide us. And then we start working, and then it seems like then after we work the last couple of years, it always changes. Because, you know, it changes from when it changes last minute all the time. They can tell us in February that it's gonna be a grant, and by June, they can change their mind. And then we only have a very small window to make the change and to swap it.
So you need a direct line to the person who's making the coin flip, right?
You have to prepare both.
You know, yeah, I guess and I guess, I think I made a comment to Amanda and Chris that if I have to get Jerry and drive to Chicago. But no, I understand, and all jokingness aside, I know I'm not alone in this situation, and I know this is just, I'm learning that this is just what we have to be prepared for, and it's just a matter of transparency, so you guys know that I am doing my job, and we are doing our job here, and that, this is not because we are doing something we're, not supposed to be doing, it's just what people are experiencing.
We're not confused, right?
Yeah.
It's, we have a project where they were working on, with the city of Anderson, and, response came back, well, we don't do projects with environmentals. And it's like, well, we did a new transportation center, and you did one, and I said, does all require environmentals? And they go, really? We go, yeah, so eventually they got a person that had been there longer. They're down about a third of their staff, and they will not be replaced. A lot of new people, and then they've shuffled people around. And then they're not allowed to give guidance. FHWA is not. If you ask for anything in writing, the answer is no.
Yeah.
And that the reason why is because what you're told today, you can submit, and then you
Change
get
it.
comments back, said, no, that's not it. And you don't get anything in writing. So it's pretty sad, that's the way it is. So.
We've had-
That's everybody. It's
Yeah.
encouraging, yeah.
We've had mixed success with going to people that used to work there, that knew stuff in and out, but maybe they're working somewhere else now. And sometimes you can talk to them and then they'll phone a friend and be like, actually, if you look under whatever cushion, it's there. Right? So, for what it's worth.
I told Jen it feels like Groundhog's Day every year, because as soon as our rep said, could we have a quick call, and like, what's coming? What are we doing now?
Yeah. So anyways,
Good question, though. But no, I mean, and Ann's right. It might be logical for that to occur, but it's. I mean, it's, sometimes they tell you something one day and then you'll get something back the next day, so it's no.
I get the feeling there may be job security in there someplace, but switching.
If anything, that's not it. I can tell you
Not that it's.
from that way perspective, it's like, they go the opposite direction sometimes now because they're worried about whether they're gonna have a job.
Yeah.
Right? And like in FHWA's case, all environmentals now that used to be approved in the Indiana division, all now go to DC to a person who does not have any background in environmental.
Makes
You
sense.
know,
It's good system.
so, then Jen,
that is all I have for you guys.
any questions of Jen? I want to apologize for being a tad late. And I only had a couple hours of sleep last night, so I wish I could blame that for today, but, yeah, I'm a little tired, but yes, so. Thanks staff for all the work, thank all, to all of you for being flexible and moving the meeting date. I really appreciate that.
For being here today. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried again because of the flooding. So many of you guys have been impacted by that. I know some of you have just, it's sad to see, so.
They're still cleaning up and it's, long way from it, so long process. Madison County got it bad in a couple of places, but Cambridge City got it worse, they got buried, yeah. 6, 7 feet of water in someone's home, that's hard to think about how you deal with it.
And I did also just want to say, you know, just kind of in memory of Dawn, not Dawn, sorry, Dawn, Ron. I do that too many times. And for Ron, if we hear anything about services, I've been told by the county that, sometime in September, the family was hoping to do something, so if I hear something, I will let you guys know. So.
Actually, when Surf, Bill in 97, were you involved at all when Surf first started in 97 and it took that kind of a hiatus? Don was involved with that, and in those initial meetings, they were sponsored when he worked for the airport. Which was a long time ago, so yeah, he's been an advocate for alternative travel and transit for a long time, so yeah. So, nothing else for today's meeting, we can adjourn. Thank you very much, and enjoy the weekend, because maybe we're not gonna have rain all weekend. Yes. So.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here again.
Thanks.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to
Good to see you. You get there. Madison County, man.
Don't know.